Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. It's time for our championship game of the Legends of the Game 1 set, produced by my friend Ian for On Deck Baseball Pro. I'm putting the link for On Deck Baseball Pro in the description for this video. You can check out all the On Deck Baseball products and pick out what you'd like to order at that link. Also in the description for this video is my link to channel membership. With membership on my channel, you get access to members-only videos, discounts in my secondary store, and a free gift from me every month. So it's a great value for you to check out. The championship game of our one and done tournament from Legends of the Game set number 1. Legends of the Game set 1 goes from 1949 backward. It covers the greatest players of the early days of baseball history, even into the 19th century. And set 2 goes from 50 forward to the present day. So a couple of great sets for you of players. There's also a big catalog of fictional teams and sets and some other real MLB great team sets as well. So check that out. Our championship game is between the National League greats of this period, the first half of the 20th century, against the Negro League greats. The National Leaguers defeated the American League team to get to this point, and the Negro Leaguers defeated a mixed team that I picked out. So here we are. The pitching matchup is a very intriguing one. We have hard-throwing Smokey Joe Williams going for the Negro Leaguers, and equally hard-throwing Dizzy Dean going for the National League team. I've got Mordecai Three-Finger Brown ready to go in long relief if he is needed, and the Negro Leaguers have everybody except Satchel Paige, who I won't use in this one, and I won't use Christy Mathewson for the National Leaguers. They both started last game, but everybody else is all hands on deck. Should be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the starting lineups and batting orders for tonight's game. For the visiting National League, Honus Wagner leads off at short. Rogers Hornsby bats second at second base. Johnny Mize bats third. He'll play first. Ralph Kiner cleans up. He'll be in left. Hack Wilson bats fifth. He'll be in center. Mel Ott bats sixth. He will be in right field. Chuck Klein bats seventh. He's the DH. Archie Vaughn bats eighth. He's at shortstop. And Ernie Lombardi takes the tools of ignorance and will bat ninth and do the catching. Picking a surprise starter, and it's Dizzy Dean. He's on the mound in his 5-year run that this card is based on. 23-12 with a 294 earned run average and a 118 whip. Those are your National Leaguers. Let's look at the lineup for the Negro League greats. Willie Wells leads off at short. Judd Wilson bats second in right field. Oscar Charleston bats third in center. Josh Gibson bats fourth. He'll catch. Buck Leonard bats fifth. He's at first. Mule Suttles DHs in the sixth spot. Turkey Stearns bats seventh in left field. Ray Dandridge bats eighth, and he'll play third. And Pop Lloyd bats ninth. He's the second baseman. Smokey Joe Williams, thought by some to be the greatest pitcher in Negro League's history, even better than Satchel Paige. He's 11-14 in his 162 game average, a 3.51 ERA, and a 1.26 WHIP. First out of the bullpen for the Negro Leaguers tonight will probably be Willie Foster. He's a left-hander, and if I need a right-hander to go to early, that's probably going to be Dr. Cyclops Max Manning. But we could very well have a 1-0 game on our hands, so let's see what happens here tonight. Honus Wagner steps in the batter's box, and we are ready to go in inning number 1. And this is going to be a pitch to Wagner that is lined by Honus to the second baseman, Pop Lloyd. 1 out in the first, and we are underway in our championship game. Rogers Hornsby comes to the plate now against Smokey Joe Williams. The delivery, and that is a ground ball hit by Hornsby. That goes to third baseman Ray Dandridge. He gloves it by the third base bag and fires across the diamond to Buck Leonard for out number 2. Now it's the big cat, Johnny Mize. Williams winds and deals, and Mize swings and lines a base hit. This one goes to right field, drops in front of Judd Wilson, who collects it and gets it back in. That'll bring up Ralph Kiner with 2 outs and a man on. Williams the stretch, and the delivery to Kiner is swung on by Kiner, and he checks his swing, and first base umpire Helen Keller says no swing, and that'll be ball 4. 2 are on now for the National League with 2 outs, and Cubs center fielder Hack Wilson comes to the plate. Joe Williams in a first inning jam. The stretch and the delivery to him, to Wilson, is a base hit for Hack Wilson. It goes to left field, drops in front of Turkey Stearns. Around third comes Johnny Mize. He's going to score. Ralph Kiner goes to third. It's 1-0 National League, and Mel Ott comes to the plate with a chance to make it more. 3 consecutive base runners for the National League have plated a run. Smokey Joe Williams the stretch. Ott swings, and he rips this one. It's a base hit to left field, into left center. Stearns cuts it off before it goes into the gap. Kiner scores. Around second goes Wilson. He's going to third. National Leaguers at the corners again, and it's 2-0. And the Negro Leaguers have to get their bullpen going early in this one. So, it'll be Max Manning, Dr. Cyclops, starting to warm up in that bullpen for some long relief duty. And Chuck Klein comes to the plate, the Phillies right fielder. He's the DH in today's game. Smokey Joe Williams with Hack Wilson at third and Mel Ott at first. The delivery swung on by Chuck Klein, and that's going to be lined for a base hit. Another hit for the National League. To left field, Stearns takes it on one hop. Wilson scores easily. Ott around to third. Stearns' throw is going into second. It's 3-0 National League on an RBI single by Chuck Klein. 5 consecutive National Leaguers have reached base. Archie Vaughn at the plate. This might be Smokey Joe Williams' last hitter. The Pirate infielder at the plate. Williams the stretch and the delivery. Line for a base hit by Archie Vaughn. Into right field. Ott scores. Going to third is Klein, and it's 4-0, and that's going to do it for Joe Williams, who's only able to get 2 outs in the first inning before he is knocked out of the box. It is the National League 4, and the Negro Leaguers haven't even come to bat yet. Max Manning will take over on the mound in the top of the first inning. He's a right-hander. Probably his best days were with the Eagles of Newark, and he's on for some definite long relief duty. He's a right-hander, a whip of 1.13, a 2.56 ERA. Good big game pitcher, and he's on to face Ernie Lombardi. The National League has batted around in the first inning. They're up 4-0. Klein at third, Vaughn at first. Manning the stretch, the delivery is ball 4 to Ernie Lombardi. The bases are dripping with National Leaguers in the first inning. Man number 10, Honus Wagner, comes to the plate. 7 consecutive National Leaguers have reached base against Negro Leagues pitching. Wagner lined out to start the inning. See how he does here, manning the stretch. He's going from the stretch to Wagner, and this is swung on by Honus. And he checks his swing, and Helen Keller again says no swing, and home comes run number 5 for the National League. Vaughn goes to third, Lombardi to second, Wagner down to first. 5-0 National League, and here's Rogers Hornsby. Manning comes in and walks 2 consecutive hitters. The delivery. We're going to have an error check. Let's see what happens here. It is a ground ball hit to shortstop Willie Wells. This is Willie Wells' primary position is shortstop. And he boots it. That's a 1-base error on Willie Wells. Another run comes home. This is Archie Vaughn scoring. Going to third is Lombardi. Going to second is Wagner. And Rogers Hornsby is safe at first. Here comes Johnny Mize. 6-0 National League. The parade continues. Willie Foster throwing in the National League bullpen as Max Manning cannot stop the bleeding. The pitch. Swung on by Mize, and this is hit to center and deep. It is going to get off the wall, and the merry-go-round starts. Lombardi scores. Wagner scores. They're waving Hornsby around third. He's going to score, and Johnny Mize with a bases-clearing triple brings in 3 more runs for the National League, and we are now at 9-0 in the first inning for the National League. Ralph Kiner comes to the plate. Might be Manning's last hitter right here, the delivery. And Kiner pops it up. Willie Wells in short left field is calling and taking for out number 3. But oh my goodness, we have a 9-run National League first inning in our championship game. Dizzy Dean has an embarrassment of riches as he strolls out to the bump to pitch the bottom of the first. National League 9 Negro Leaguers coming to bat. Wells, Wilson, and Charleston. The good news for the Negro Leaguers is they have time to chip away, but they got to get going here. Wells stands in against Dizzy Dean. The windup and the delivery to Willie Wells. Hey, struck him out. Dizzy Dean gave him the cheese, and there's 1 down. Judd Wilson comes to the plate. 9 runs for the National League in the top of the first on 2 for 6 hits. Say it with me. Oh, those bases on balls. 3 walks. The delivery by Dean. He strikes out Judd Wilson. 2 down in the first, and now Oscar Charleston comes to the plate. The wind and the delivery by Dizzy Dean to Oscar Charleston is ripped by Charleston. This one's going to get down and into the right field corner. Mel Ott's got to dig it out of there. Charleston around first. He cruises into second with a 2-out double, and that'll bring up Josh Gibson. Dizzy Dean the stretch. The pitch to Josh is hit on the ground by Gibson. It goes to third. That's Archie Vaughn. He fires to Johnny Mize, and the Negro Leaguers are done in inning number 1. With 1 in the books, the National League is off to a flying start. It's 9-0 in our championship game. Max Manning will start inning number 2. He'll face Hack Wilson, Mel Ott, Chuck Klein. The windup and the delivery by Dr. Cyclops is swung on by Wilson and hit in the air. This goes to right. Judd Wilson pounds the glove and makes the catch for out number 1. Mel Ott comes to the plate. He singled in. Everybody singled in a run in the top of the first. The wind and the delivery by Manning. Ott rips it to right and deep. Back goes Judd Wilson. Warning track, wall, and it's 10-0. My goodness. That's going to do it for Max Manning. He has done enough damage. And Willie Foster is going to take over. Probably his best days were with the Chicago American Giants. His 162 game average, 19-9 with a 2.63 earned run average. All right, so we'll see if he can get some control here. Chuck Klein comes to the plate. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. 1 out in the second. The windup by Foster in the delivery is a ground ball hit to second. Pop Lloyd gloves it to his left, plants and throws to Buck Leonard for out number 2. Archie Vaughn comes to the plate with nobody on. He's playing third base today. Foster kicks and delivers. And Vaughn hits a fly ball. It is to right field. Coming in quickly is Judd Wilson, and he puts it away for out number 3. But in the second inning, the National League adds a run and a home run by Mel Ott, and it was not a cheapie. Bottom of the second is here, and it's National League 10, and the Negro Leaguers nothing. Dizzy Dean will face Leonard, Suttles, and Stearns in the second. The windup and the pitch by old Diz is swung on by Leonard, and that is hit in the air to right field. Mel Ott over by the foul line is going to make the catch for out number 1. Mule Suttles up there now, the DH for the Negro Leagues today. The pitch to him is lined for a base hit for Suttles. That gets something started for the Negro Leaguers. 1 on with 1 out, and Turkey Stearns comes to the plate. Dizzy Dean the stretch, and the pitch to the Negro Leaguers left fielder. That is ripped by Stearns. It gets into the right center field gap. Cut off by Mel Ott. Around second goes Suttles. He's going to third, and Stearns into second with a double. Second and third for the Negro Leaguers. Ray Dandridge comes to the plate. Dizzy Dean the stretch and the delivery. Swung on by Dandridge, and this is ripped for a base hit. It is to center field. Negro Leaguers are going to play it cautiously. Suttles scores their first run. Stearns stops at third. Dandridge on at first. There's Negro Leaguers at the corners now for Pop Lloyd. All right. Chance to keep chipping away here. Dizzy Dean the stretch and the pitch to Lloyd. Is a base hit for Pop Lloyd. This goes to left field. Scoring is Stearns. It's 10-2. Dandridge stops at second. A streak of 4 consecutive hits for the Negro Leaguers has plated 2 runs, and Willie Wells comes to the plate. Dizzy Dean struggling in the second inning. The delivery to Wells is going to be lined by Willie Wells for a base hit. Again, the Negro Leaguers playing it cautiously. Dandridge stops at third. Lloyd stops at second. The bases are loaded for Judd Wilson. 10-2, but the bases are loaded with 1 out in the second. Dean the stretch, the pitch to Wilson. Judd swings and lines a ball just foul. Just foul. Oh, first base umpire Helen Keller called that one foul, and Judd did not like the call. The next delivery by Dizzy Dean is ball 4, and that's going to force home a run. Dizzy Dean walks in a run. That's Ray Dandridge, and it's 10-3. Going to third is Lloyd. Going to second is Wells. And down to first is Big Judd Wilson. Here's Oscar Charleston. And the National Leaguers cannot believe it, but Mordecai Brown has to get warming up in the bullpen. 10-3, 1 out, bases loaded. The infield playing for a twin killing. Dean the stretch and the pitch to Oscar. It is a ground ball hit by Charleston. It goes to second. This is Rogers Hornsby. They're going to try and turn two. Hornsby flips to Wagner, but the neighborhood play doesn't work. Wilson slides in safely. Now they're going to try and relay it to first to double up Charleston, and they got him. So, score it. A 4-6-3 put out on Charleston. Everybody else moves up a base. Lloyd scores from third. Wells goes to third, and Wilson goes to second. Give Charleston an RBI because it was not a double play. There's 2 outs now, and it's 10-4. All right, Josh Gibson comes to the plate. Now first base is open. Buck Leonard would be next. Dean the stretch, the pitch. Swung on by Gibson. It's hit to left. Back goes Ralph Kiner. Warning track, wall, and it's gone. A 3-run bomb by Josh Gibson, and all of a sudden we got a ball game. It is 10-7 and a slugfest in the second inning. That's going to do it for Dizzy Dean, who can't get himself out of the second inning, and we're going to get Mordecai Brown, the old Chicago Cub, coming on to take over here in the bottom of the second. Yikes. Well, get your hitting shoes on today, boys. The wind is blowing out. All right, so Brown is a -4, -5. He's got a fielding of a 4. Okay. 25-9 in his 5-year peak with a 142 earned run average, and he's got to stop the bleeding now. 10-7 in the bottom of the second. Buck Leonard comes to the plate. 0 for 1. The pitch by Brown. Leonard swings and hits it on the ground. It goes to second. That's Hornsby. He flips to Mize, and the side is finally retired. Buck Leonard makes 2 outs in the inning. But in the second, the Negro Leaguers get 7 on 6 hits, including a 3-run bomb by Josh Gibson. We go to the third. It's the National League 10 and the Negro League 7. And Willie Foster's back out for the third. Okay. Ernie Lombardi leads it off. The wind and the delivery by Willie Foster is hit on the ground by Lombardi. It's to third. Dandridge gloves it to his left, plants and throws to Buck Leonard for out number 1. Honus Wagner comes to the plate. Wagner's 0 for 1. The pitch by Foster, and Wagner hits a screaming Mimi, a line drive right at Dandridge for out number 2. Rogers Hornsby now 0 for 2. But he reached on an error that led to all sorts of problems back in the second. Foster kicks and delivers. Hornsby swings. He hits it on the ground. It goes to third. One more chance for Dandridge. He fires to Leonard. And the National League is actually shut down in the third. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of 3. It's the National League 10 and the Negro League 7. And Brown is out for his first full inning of work. Suttles, Stearns, and Dandridge. The delivery is ripped by Suttles for a line drive base hit to lead off the bottom of the third inning. Turkey Stearns comes to the plate. Double play up for the National League infield. Brown the stretch. The pitch is hit in the air by Stearns. It goes to right. Melott back a few steps, but he's got room and puts it away for out number 2. Ray Dandridge now. 1 for 1. The pitch to him. Dandridge strikes out on a bender. 2 down, and Pop Lloyd comes to the plate. Suttle's still at first. Brown the stretch, and the pitch to him is ball 4. He walked him. Pop Lloyd draws a walk. 2 are on with 2 outs, and that means Willie Wells is the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd. Mordecai Brown the stretch. The pitch to Pop Lloyd is going to be, or the pitch to Willie Wells, is going to be a line drive again. Just foul. And the next delivery is popped up. In foul territory, Ernie Lombardi off with the mask and will make the catch for out number 3. So in the 3rd, the Negro Leaguers get a couple of base runners, but can't get anybody across the pay station. We go to the 4th. It's the National League 10 and the Negro Leagues 7. Willie Foster will face Mize, Kiner, and Wilson in the 4th. The pitch, line drive off the bat of Johnny Mize, and this goes right into Buck Leonard's glove. That one was ticketed for right field, but a nice play by Buck, and there's 1 out in the 4th. 10-7 National League. Ralph Kiner comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Foster deals. Kiner swings, and another shot off the bat of a National League hitter, and it goes to short. Willie Wells with a leaping catch. 2 down. Hack Wilson comes to the plate. Willie Foster's getting outs, but they are not getting cheated at the plate. Wilson's 1 for 2, the delivery to him. Swung on by Hack and a check swing, and Helen Keller says no swing. She's letting everything go today. Down to first goes Hack Wilson with a 2-out walk. Here's Melott, 2 for 2 with a long home run in the 2nd inning. Foster the stretch, the pitch to Ott. Swung on in a ground ball, a little tap out in front of home plate. Josh Gibson is on it, gets an angle on his throw, and fires down to Buck Leonard for out number 3. So the National League gets a base runner, but can't do anything with him. Willie Foster has indeed restored order to the ball game. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and it's the National League 10 and the Negro Leagues 7. It'll be Judd Wilson, Oscar Charleston, and Josh Gibson in the Negro League's 4th inning. They trail by 3. Brown kicks and deals. And Wilson hits a fly ball. This goes to center field. Coming in a few steps is Hack Wilson. He puts it away for out number 1. Oscar Charleston is 0 for 2, and he's up there now. Maybe, according to Bill James, might be the greatest player ever. He's up there now. Brown deals. And it's hit on the ground by Charleston. It goes to short. That's Honus Wagner. He fires to Johnny Mize, and there's 2 away. Josh Gibson now. Nobody on. Buck Leonard, would be next. Brown kicks and delivers. Josh Gibson hits it in the air and deep. Bat to center. Back goes Hack Wilson. He's on the track. He makes the catch for out number 3. 1 more biscuit for breakfast, and Josh Gibson cuts the lead to 2, but no. All right, we go to the 5th. It's the National League 10 and the Negro League 7. Klein, Vaughn, and Lombardi coming up against Willie Foster. The windup and the pitch. Klein swings and hits it in the air. This goes to right field. Judd Wilson makes the catch for out number 1. Archie Vaughn is 0 for 2, the third baseman in today's game for the National Leaguers. Foster deals to him. And we're going to have a situation matrix. This will be for first base. We got a chance for Buck Leonard, Buck Melanoma, Maisie Russell's wart. And here's our situation chart for Mr. Leonard. Alrighty. And I rolled a 5. Batter hits a sharp ground ball to the hole on the right side. Leonard gives chase but doesn't come up with it, resulting in a single to right. First baseman strains his right quad on the play and must be removed from the game. All right. So Leonard is injured in the top of the 5th. And I'm just going to put a little asterisk here so I remember that's where that happened. Leonard has to come out. He was scheduled to lead off the bottom of the 5th. So now we're going to get a new, we got to juggle our positions a little bit here. I think what we're going to do is have Judd Wilson move into first base. I want to make sure he is rated at first. He sure is. So he'll be a 3. First base, top of the 5th. He turns into a 3. And batting 5th and playing right field will be Willard Brown. And so Willard will lead off the bottom of the 5th when we get there. But for now, we got Ernie Lombardi up with 1 out and 1 on for the National League. Double play depth for the Negro League's infield. Willie Foster the stretch. And the delivery to Lombardi is another smoking line drive. That is caught by new first baseman Judd Wilson. And we might have a double play. We do. Judd Wilson beats him to the bag. So it is a line drive, double play, 3 unassisted, and that will end the National League 5th inning. What a wild ball game. We're halfway through this one, and your score, National League 10, Negro Leagues 7. Mordecai Brown, his 3rd full inning of work coming. And Brown, Suttles, and Stearns coming up. The windup and the delivery by Mordecai Brown. Let's check Willard Brown's numbers here. He's a 5 and a 4. All right, so Brown draws a walk to lead off the 5th inning. And Brown with good speed, so a gapper could cut into that lead. Here's Mule Suttles, double play depth for the National League infield. Brown the stretch, the delivery to Suttles is ripped by Suttles to left and deep. It's got a chance to get out of here, and it's off the wall. Kiner's got to run it down. Willard Brown is going to stop at 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd with nobody out for Turkey Stearns. Stearns represents the tying run in this game, and that's going to get more action going in the National League bullpen. So, who do we got here? Wow. Iron Man Joe McGinnity starts to throw. He's a right-hander. And he is joined by left-hander Rube Marquardt. So we had a couple of the old New York Giants throwing in the bullpen. Lefty-righty double-barreled action, and Turkey Stearns at the plate. Infield is back. They're going to concede a run here. The pitch by Brown. Stearns with a ground ball. This goes to first base, but Mize is playing deep. He will flip to Mordecai Brown covering. Willard Brown will score on the play. Advancing to third is Mule Suttles, and it's 10-8. The Negro Leaguers have scored now 8 unanswered runs in response to the National Leaguers starting the game with 10 unanswered runs. Anyway, we got a 2-run game now, and Ray Dandridge comes to the plate. The infield is back for the National League. The stretch, the delivery by Three Finger Brown, and a base hit by Ray Dandridge scores run number 9 for the Negro Leaguers. Suttles trots home. Dandridge is aboard representing the tying run at first base. Here's Pop Lloyd. This may be Mordecai Brown's last batter. The stretch by Brown, the pitch to Lloyd, is swung on by Pop, and that is hit to center. Coming in quickly, Hack Wilson, he's got it for out number 2. Dandridge retreats to first. And now it's the top of the order with Willie Wells, the Devil. Brown the stretch, the pitch to Wells. Ground ball hit by Wells. It's to second. Hornsby gloves it and throws to Mize for out number 3. But in the 5th, the Negro Leaguers get 2 more runs, and they're back in the game. 2 runs on 2 hits. Your score as we go to the 6th inning, National League 10, Negro Leagues 9. Willie Foster will face the top of the National League order here in the 6th. It's Wagner, Hornsby, and Mize. He has pitched 3 2/3 shutout baseball in this one. Foster deals. Swung on by Wagner. That is a ground ball. Hit to short. Willie Wells charges, throws on the run, and they get Hornsby by half a step at first base. Or Wagner, excuse me. They get Wagner at first. Now it's Hornsby. He's 0 for 3. Foster deals to him. And this will be a fly ball hit by Hornsby. It goes to right field. Coming in quickly is Willard Brown, and he's got it for out number 2. Johnny Mize is 2 for 3. The windup by Foster and the delivery to Mize. Popped him up. This wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. Under it in short right field is Pop Lloyd, and he's got it for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and your score is the National League 10, National League 10 and the Negro Leagues 9. Mordecai Brown is out for inning number 6, and he's on an extremely short leash. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not checking stamina yet. All right, here we go with Judd Wilson, Oscar Charleston, and Josh Gibson. The pitch is a line drive base hit for Judd Wilson. There's the potential tying run on base for the Negro Leaguers. Here's Oscar Charleston. I think they got to go get him. That's going to do it for Mordecai Brown. Rube Marquardt is going to take over on the mound here for the National Leaguers in the bottom of the 6th. Brown is done after, Mordecai Brown is done after 1, 2, 3 1/3 innings. He allowed 4 hits. He allowed 2 walks. He struck out 1 and allowed 2 runs. They're both earned. Wilson at first is his responsibility. Marquardt is on. And the National League needs him to shut down this meat of the Negro League's order. Charleston, Gibson, and Brown coming up. The stretch by Marquardt and the delivery to Oscar is a ground ball hit by Charleston. It goes to second. That's Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby is going to flip to Honus Wagner for 1. Yep, they get Wilson at second. Now the relay to get Charleston at first is going to be late. Charleston beats the wrap. So Wilson is retired 4-6. Charleston's safe on a fielder's choice. And here's Josh Gibson. Josh is 1 for 3. Willard Brown is on deck. Double play depth for the National League infield. The stretch by Marquardt and the delivery is swung on by Gibson. It's a fly to center. This is going to drive Hack Wilson back near the track. He's going to make the catch. Charleston slams on the brakes and retreats to first. Now it's Willard Brown. Mule Suttles would be next. The stretch by Marquardt in the delivery. Base hit for Willard Brown. Oscar Charleston's on his horse. Around second base, heading to third. There's Negro Leaguers at the corners now with 2 outs, and Suttles comes to the plate. Mule is 3 for 3. Turkey Stearns would be next, and they're going to go get him. Mule Suttles can hit a ball 9 miles, and he's not going to face the left-handers. So Marquardt is done after 2/3 of an inning. It's going to be the Iron Man, Joe McGinnity, a right-hander, coming in to face Mule Suttles with a huge moment in this game coming up. 2/3 of an inning for Marquardt. He did not allow any runs, at least not yet. McGinnity is on 27-15 with a 237 in his 5-year peak. He's a righty facing the right-handed batting DH for the Negro Leaguers. Mule Suttles, Stearns on deck. He would be next. McGinnity the stretch, the delivery is a line drive base hit for Suttles. The game is tied. Charleston scores. Around second, going to third is the speedy Willard Brown. And Mule Suttles is 4 for 4. Turkey Stearns at the plate with a chance to put the Negro Leaguers in front. We got a 10-10 game in the bottom of the 6th. McGinnity the stretch. The pitch to Stearns. Swung on and hit by Turkey. This one has a chance to get out of here. It is gone. A 3-run bomb for Stearns. It's 13-10. Yikes. McGinnity comes in and throws gasoline on the fire. The Negro Leaguers have climbed all the way back to take the lead at 13-10. Dandridge at the plate. Still 2 outs. McGinnity winds and deals. And Dandridge lines a base hit. 3 consecutive hits off McGinnity, and the National League bullpen needs to get going again. They can't stop the bleeding. Babe Adams and Epirixie start to throw in a hurry. And McGinnity the stretch, he's facing Pop Lloyd. The delivery to Lloyd is going to be popped up. On the infield dirt, Rogers Hornsby calling and taking for out number 3. But in the 6th, the Negro Leaguers get 4 runs and complete their comeback. On 5 hits, they leave 1. We go to the 7th. It's the Negro Leaguers 13 and the National League 10. Are you kidding me? All right, Willie Foster is back out. This is going to be his 5th inning, so we have to do a fatigue check. Let's see if he is... Nope, no change. All right. It'll be Kiner, Wilson, and Ott coming up, and the Negro Leaguers are going to get their bullpen going. Leon Day and Hilton Smith are throwing in the bullpen for the Negro Leagues. A lot of firepower in this National League lineup as well. They put up 10 before the Negro Leaguers got anything. They have some work to do. Kiner's 0 for 3, Foster deals. And a base hit for Ralph Kiner, leading off the 7th. His first hit of the day, Hack Wilson comes to the plate. I think this is going to be a wild finish to this ball game. Wilson a 1 for 2. Foster the stretch, the delivery. Excuse me, popped it up. In fair territory, Ray Dandridge takes it for out number 1 on the infield fly. Now Mel Ott, 2 for 3. Foster the stretch, the delivery. And Ott draws a walk. 2 are on. Tying run comes to the plate in Chuck Klein. Now it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Klein, of course, made his money in the Baker Bowl, which was, what was that, about 150 feet to the power alley in right center? No, I'm just kidding. It was 150 feet down the line in right. No, I'm kidding there too. Don't tell me that's not what the measurement was. I know. I think it was 270. I think. Not sure. Klein's 1 for 3. He's up there now. If he goes deep, we're tied. I'm throwing dice all over the room. The pitch is going to be ball 4 to Klein, and the bases are loaded, and that's going to do it for Willie Foster. We're going to get a new Negro Leagues pitcher to take on Archie Vaughn. We got Kiner at third, Ott at second, and Vaughn at first. All right, the new pitcher is going to be Leon Day, Newark Eagles right-hander. Ready to take over and face Vaughn. The Negro Leaguers have one pitcher left. It's Hilton Smith. All right. Vaughn at the plate. He's 2 for 3. The infield playing for a twin killing. The stretch by Day and the delivery is strike 3. Leon Day with a bender. Archie Vaughn couldn't have hit that one with a paddle. And Ernie Lombardi comes up with big-time power. If Lombardi goes deep, well, the National League is back in front. The stretch by Day, the pitch to Lombardi. Hit on the ground by Ernie. That's to Dandridge at third. He fires to Judd Wilson at first, and Ernie Lombardi is out by 14 steps. That will do it for the National League in the 7th. They leave 3. It's time to stretch them out in our championship game with your score. The Negro League's 13 and the National League. All right, Wells, Wilson, and Charleston in the Negro League's 7th inning. The delivery by McGinnity. And more trouble for the National League. A line drive, base hit for Willie Wells. Judd Wilson comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. That's got to be it for McGinnity. You can stick a fork in him. He is done. The new pitcher will be Epirixie, the old Cincinnati Red. He's a left-hander to face Wilson and Charleston at least. And continuing to throw in the bullpen is Babe Adams. He is now joined by Charlie Root. Couple of right-handers working. Rixey, 20-14 with a 2.96 ERA in his 5-year peak. Wilson at the plate, lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch by Rixey. And a line drive, base hit for Wilson. Stopping at second is Wells. 2 on with nobody out, and Oscar Charleston at the plate. The stretch by Rixey, the pitch to the left-handed batting Charleston, and this one is ripped. It goes to center and deep. Hack Wilson on his horse. Warning track. Wall, it's gone. 16-10 Negro Leaguers in the bottom of the 7th. Yikes. Josh Gibson coming to the plate. That's going to do it for Epirixie, and Babe Adams, the old Pittsburgh Pirate, is going to come on. Yikes. Adams got taken, or Rixie got taken to the woodshed. Adams comes on to try and restore some order. The National League down by 6. He's facing Gibson. 16-12 with a 2.50 ERA in Adams' 5-year peak. Gibson's 1 for 4, the delivery to him. Hey, struck him out. Babe Adams humped up on that fastball. Now it's Willard Brown. The wind and the delivery by Adams to Brown. Base hit for Willard Brown. A 1-out single. He's been on 3 times in 3 innings. Here's Suttles. Double play depth for the National League. The stretch by Adams, the delivery. And the mule, we're going to have an error check. See what happens here. This will be a strikeout. So we got to do a check for, excuse me, Ernie Lombardi. And he's going to drop the ball, and it's going to get by him. So it's going to be a strikeout and a pass ball. And reaching base will be Mule Suttles. 2 on, 1 out. Turkey Stearns, who hit that big 3-run bomb to put the Negro Leagues in front in the 6th. Adams, the stretch, the pitch to Stearns is swung on and hit in the air. This is to right. Mel Ott over by the foul line is going to catch it for out number 2. Dandridge comes to the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Pop Lloyd would be next. Adams, the stretch, and the pitch is a ground ball hit by Dandridge. It goes to Wagner at short. He's going to go the short way to Hornsby covering to retire the Negro Leaguers in the 7th, but they add 3 more runs. And as we go to the 8th, the Negro Leaguers lead it 16-10. Leon Day facing Honus Wagner. The delivery to Wagner is a line drive base hit. The National League isn't done yet. Leadoff man aboard. Hornsby at the plate. He's got an 0 for 4 collar going, and Johnny Mize is on deck. Day the stretch, the pitch to Hornsby. And Hornsby with a base hit. Stopping at second is Wagner. Now the National League is playing it safe. 2 on with nobody out for Mize. Hilton Smith warming up in the Negro Leaguers bullpen. 16-10. The stretch by Day, the pitch to Mize, who's 2 for 4, and Johnny lines a base hit. This goes to right field. Brown on it in a hurry. Wagner stops at third. The bases are loaded with National Leaguers for Ralph Kiner. This may be Leon Day's last hitter. The stretch by Day. The pitch to Kiner, who's 1 for 3. Swung on by Ralph and popped up. On the, let's see, short left field, coming in quickly is Stearns. He's got it. No chance to tag. There's 1 out. Now it's Hack Wilson. Wilson 1 for 3. The stretch, the delivery. Swung on by Wilson. This is hit to left. Again, Stearns comes in, makes the catch for out number 2. Mel Ott at the plate. He's already gone deep once in this game. He's 2 for 3. Day the stretch, the pitch to the Giants right fielder. Swung on and hit in the air. This goes to center. Back a few steps is Charleston, but there's room, and he puts it away for out number 3. Oh my goodness. They get them loaded with nobody out and cannot score. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and your score is the Negro League 16, the National League 10. Adams will face Lloyd, Wells, and Wilson in the 8th. The pitch. Swung on by Pop Lloyd. It's a ground ball hit to Hornsby at second. Hornsby throws to Mize, and there's one down in the Negro Leaguers' 8th inning. Willie Wells comes to the plate. He's 2 for 5. The pitch. Wells with a base hit. A one-out single for the Negro Leaguers. Wells' third of the day, and here's Judd Wilson, the first baseman. Adams the stretch. The pitch to Judd. Hey, struck him out. He made him look sick. That is strikeout number 3, excuse me, for Babe Adams. And Oscar Charleston comes to the plate at 2 for 5. 2 gone. Wells at first. Adams the stretch. The pitch to Oscar is a ground ball. It's hit to second. Hornsby throws to Mize, and the Negro Leaguers are gone in the 8th. We go to the 9th. It's put up or shut up time for the National League. Your score is the Negro Leaguers 16 and the National League 10. The Negro Leaguers have scored 16 unanswered runs. Leon Day is out to try and finish it. Klein, Vaughn, and Lombardi are due in the 9th inning. Unless we get some pinch hitters, they will be the final salvo, and I think we are going to get some pinch hitters. All right. So Klein will lead it off. He's 1 for 3, the delivery by Day. Swung on by Chuck. He missed everything. That's strikeout number 2 for Leon Day. 1 gone in the 9th. Pinch hitter for Arky Vaughn will be Bill Terry. And moving into the on-deck circle to bat for Ernie Lombardi is Paul Wainer. So we're going to get a couple of left-handed pinch hitters to face Leon Day. Terry is first, 1 out, nobody on. National League trails by 6. The delivery. Swung on by Terry, and this is going to be drilled into the gap. It splits Charleston and Brown and goes to the wall. Bill Terry around second, going to third. He's got a 1-out triple. Paul Wainer comes to the plate. Honus Wagner on deck. Day the windup and the delivery. And Wainer drills a base hit. That'll score Bill Terry at 16-11. And that's going to be the end of the line for Leon Day. It's going to be Hilton Smith to try and close it. The last Negro Leagues pitcher available, unless we go to Satchel Paige, who pitched 8 innings in their first game. All right, Wagner at the plate, Wainer at first, Hilton Smith, 18-8 with a 2.75 ERA in his 162 game average. Wagner at the plate, Hornsby on deck, the stretch, the delivery. And Wagner with a line drive. This is caught by first baseman Judd Wilson. There's 2 down. And Rogers Hornsby with the last chance saloon. Johnny Mize would be next. The stretch by Smith, the pitch to Hornsby. And this will be a base hit for Rogers Hornsby. Wainer stops at second. Mize comes to the plate. Kiner would be next. The stretch by Smith. The pitch to Mize. is swung on by Mize. It is hit to second. Pop Lloyd gloves it, throws to Judd Wilson, and the National League, or the Negro Leaguers, have defeated the National League in our championship game. A wild and woolly one, 16-11. Let's give you the totals on this one. This is the Legends of the Game 1 set for On Deck Baseball Pro. Don't forget to check out that website before you take off. For the homestanding Negro Leaguers, 16 runs, 20 base hits, and they committed 1 error. The National League, 11 runs, 15 base hits, and they committed no errors. No errors, that's right. All right, the winning pitcher. Well, the winning pitcher is going to be Willie Foster. No save in the game. And the loss will go to, well, the loss will go to Rube Marquard. Takes the loss. MVP of the game. Boy, oh boy. It's tempting to give it to Willie Foster. I'm going to do co-MVPs. I'm going to do Willie Foster and Mule Suttles. Well, he didn't drive in any runs, but no, you know what? I'm going to give it to Charleston. No, I can't do that. I got to give it to Stearns. Yeah. I'll give it to Stearns for the 3-run homer that put him in front to stay. Co-MVPs, Willie Foster and Turkey Stearns. Don't forget to check out the description of this video for the link to On Deck Baseball Pro, plus the link to channel membership. Channel membership, a great value, gets you discounts in the secondary store, access to members-only videos, and a free gift every month. What a ball game, what a series, what a set of cards, what a game. Your final, the National League, the Negro Leaguers 16, the National League 11. Have a great evening. So long, everybody.